What did you do to your hair?
Target designated.
Nuclear launch detected. Nuclear attack.
Prepare to die.
Energy and critical increasing.
Non-vigilant.
Energy and critical. Energy and structure.
He's a complicated man, and no one understands him but his dragoons. Toss! I'm talking about the Protoss, baby. Wow. Not quite sure how to follow that one up, really. It feels like just layers of shame have suddenly been piled on my body. Just like a 2-ton brick of shame just fell on me. But alright, let's move on to the second set of Group A. Paralyze versus Hyuk. Man, my throat is killing me too. I'm not sure what's going on here. It was even difficult to do my waka chicka stuff. I hope I'm not getting sick. It doesn't really feel like sore throat. It feels like someone punched me in the Adam's apple. I have no idea what's going on. I hope I'm not getting sick. That would suck. I think the last time I was sick was the Bacchus OSL at the beginning of 2009. I actually commentated the finals of that OSL sick, which is why I sound so phlegmy in it. But let's hope that doesn't happen again. It might, though. It might. But here we go. Gladiator is the map. Except, up at the 2 o'clock position in beige is the Protoss, baby. Still hurts. And down at the 8 o'clock position in red is Hyuk. Strangely enough, I would put Hyuk as, actually, I would put Paralyze as the underdog, and Hyuk as the overdog, or whatever. The favorite to get out of this. For a lot of reasons, because Paralyze is the first time he's been in a round of 16, obviously. He just skyrocketed up to the round of 16, that's why he's got everyone excited. That and his viciously awesome fro. And, yeah, he's a new guy. He's the new guy of the group. And he's playing on Gladiator, which is kind of an even map as far as PvZ goes. But he's playing against Hyuk, who is great at Zerg versus Protoss. And Hyuk has way more experience in such things than Paralyze does, so I think Paralyze is definitely the underdog in this matchup. Now, let's see what the Nukenites have to say. Let's read some predictions. Tan for Dolph writes, Afro Power will get Paralyzed to the finals, and there Jaedong will crush him. Nice picture from the audience, too. Wow, that Afro is consuming his head. It's like, Afro. Oh, that's a cute Afro. Wow, everyone is focusing on the Afro. I'm glad to see I'm not alone in this thing. Wow. Let everyone just take a look at that. Wait, there's no Afro on that. Get out of the audience, you jerk. There we go. That's better. Jeez. That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Let's move on to another prediction. While the Protoss man, the Protoss Funkmaster, is going down. Actually, I based that name, Protoss Funkmaster, on a screen name of a friend I had in college, C-Doc Funkmaster. I always thought that was funny. But here's another prediction from Data Lulzer, writes, Hyuk will destroy everyone. And that is not a prediction, it's his destiny. Sorry, destiny. Okay. Here's another one as the Protoss Funkmaster trying to take down a drone. He's not Bisu, though. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Bisu does that stuff all the time. And they're actually on the same team. Maybe that's where he's getting it from. But there's a first cannon coming up. Plenty of rush distance here, so it should be fine. Paralyze is going to be fine with just that single cannon for the time being. Of course, Hyuk, well known for his Zerg versus Protoss timing attacks. That's what he loves to do. He just loves to go to the Protoss front door with more Hydralisks than you can count on all of your fingers and toes. But here's another prediction from Crowrens, writes, Hyuk will own Paralyze so hard his afro will fall off. After that, he'll Hyuk himself against Flash and then win against Cal despite losing 15 drones to a single DT. Go Hyuk Meister! Another prediction from Big Disgrace 22 writes, I hope that Hair Toss Jr., in this case being Paralyzed, can restore grace to the Hair Toss race now that Hair Toss Sr. has once again been vanquished by Shine. You know, it's funny, this is a footnote to this prediction before I go back to reading it. I think Shine and Beast are in the same MSL group now, too. So they can't get rid of each other. I can't quit you. I'm continuing, God, that thing in my throat. Continuing the prediction. As Paralyze is about to go down, almost going down to the Zerglings. Shine makes hairstylists all over the world cry in grief. Flash versus Hair Toss Jr. Finals. And it looks like Hair Toss Jr. is making his way out, almost being cornered by the minerals, though. Let's see if he can get this scout back to the base. I have a feeling he's going to. That is an epic fro. And you know, Paralyze, he plays up the fro thing to the hilt. He is definitely not afraid of that. You see, everyone makes fun of him for his hair, but I think he realizes that that's the way he's going to be remembered by fans, because he's just now coming onto the scene. That's how he's going to get in people's minds, because in the group selection ceremony he actually walked in with afro picks in his hair. So yeah, he knows what he's doing. Here's another prediction. We have so many of these to read today. As another probe, the same probe trying to go down, very badly damaged probe, being fended off by Hyuk. And the forge is spinning, so I think that Paralyze is preparing a little +1 Zealot attack soon. Here's another prediction from Yoshi360 writes, I say it every season, Hyuk will destroy everyone. There were a lot of Hyuk fans in the comments section of my preview video. There always are. People like Hyuk. A lot of Hyuk fans out there. But the Citadel of Adun coming up for Paralyze, going to work on that speed upgrade for the Zealots, the Zealot leg upgrade, and he's still snuck in with that badly damaged probe. Man, that probe is less than in this game. And some more gateways on the way for Paralyze. Couple more predictions. Why not? 2 more. Let's do it. Darkulla writes, P-Toss Funkmaster FTW. That was all. Ritter writes, I think Paralyze gets his hair done. No Koreans have froze. It just doesn't happen. And of course, Hyuk will 4-pool crush his group. Alright, let's get to this game now. Hyuk has established 3 bases. Both players are going for extremely standard play. Although, Paralyze, he waited a long time to get that Stargate. Wow, he waited a very long time to get the Stargate, so not a standard build from Paralyze so far. He wanted to work on getting his gateways and his Zealot attack out sooner, and foregoing the Corsairs out in the middle of the map. Of course, the reason the Protoss go for the Corsairs so early like that is because it works extremely well. You're usually able to get a full scout on your opponent, which Paralyze will not have now, trying to fend off the Zerglings, doing some excellent micro to keep all of his Zealots alive, but he's not going to have a lot of good scouting information. He stuck it to the mate earlier, but he finally lost that probe. And he's not going to be able to hover around and see what Hyuk is up to if he's going for an all-mutilist build or something, which Hyuk could definitely do. Starting to cough. Oh man, I hope I'm not sick. But Paralyze already moving out. He doesn't have the +1 attack yet for those Zealots, but he might be trying to spring that as a surprise as soon as he gets to this new base. Creep colonies being built already by Hyuk. He doesn't have hardly anything out, hardly any units. He's been focusing completely on macro. He has a few Zerglings, and he's building some sunken colonies. Oh, nice positioning from Hyuk between the Zealots and the sunken colonies, just trying to make sure the Zealots can't get to them. I'm not sure why Paralyze isn't retreating. He has some reinforcements coming in, but not nearly enough to take down 2 sunken colonies. So it's kind of a failed attack from him. But nice positioning from Hyuk, some very nice Sim City, and some nice positioning with those Zerglings to get things going. Finally, some Corsairs on the way to get a little bit of scouting. But Hyuk, in the meantime, will have... I'm sure he has his Spire out by now, so he'll be able to Scourge that Corsair and get rid of it. And he's just surrounding the sunken colonies right now with Zerglings, just in case Paralyze should come again. Alright, so Paralyze trying to take down the Overlord, but it might not be too successful. Yeah, there are Scourge on the map, so Hyuk might be able to take down Paralyze's Corsair if he still commits to trying to take down Overlords. This is a strange build from Hyuk. I haven't seen any Hydralisk at all on the map, so he could possibly be going for a Mutalisk build. Although he put down, oh man, so many Scourge out, taking down the lone Corsair in the middle of the map. He's going for so many Scourge. It makes me think he wants to take the air superiority. Or maybe that's going to be his anti-air, because he has no anti-air right now, no Hydralisk at all. As he's taking a 4th base, a very strange, heavily macro-focused build from Hyuk, as Paralyze is still focusing on the 6 o'clock base. He hasn't done anything about those sunken colonies, though. So being forced back, finally I see some Hydralisks, 2 Hydralisks popping from that 6 o'clock base, although that could be a fake out or something, because those are the only Hydralisks I've seen in this game so far. So this is a little strange from Hyuk. Maybe that is his opening. He wanted to use his minerals to build up his bases and then switch into Hydralisk or something. But either way, very strange. Kind of strange builds from both players. But since Hyuk is taking his 4th base, and since he doesn't really have a lot of units out to protect himself, now would be a great time for Paralyze to take his own 3rd base, because Hyuk won't be able to do anything about that unless Paralyze builds at a base that is very easily accessed, like that inside 2 o'clock or something. But Hyuk, so far, it looks like he only has Zerglings out to get the damage done. And he is skirting around trying to see if that Forge is still spinning. It is. So I think it's going to be +2 attack. There's +1 carapace for Lurkers out now for Hyuk. Wow, this is a strange build. And still pumping those Scourge for the anti-air. I see what Hyuk is doing. He's going straight into Lurkers, bypassing the Hydralisk almost completely. And he needs some kind of anti-air, so he's getting the Scourge out to deal with the Corsairs. Because if he doesn't have the Scourge, he's going to be pretty much screwed as far as Corsairs go. He's going to lose every single one of his Overlords, even with the Spore Colonies to protect them. Man, that's a lot of Scourge. And if these Scourge find this grouping of Corsairs, it might be over for Paralyze. Whoa, it's a close one. Very close one. Alright, Paralyze, still spinning on his Forge, still getting the upgrade for that. And Hyuk is very comfortably mining on 4 bases now, and that's 4 gas, too. So he's going to be able to tech into a huge amount of tech soon. He's going to be pouring in the Ultralists if Paralyze can't do something about this. He needs to do some kind of harassment. I still can't believe how many Scourge are out on the map. And luckily for the Protoss, he is still pumping those Corsairs. He doesn't want to lose his complete Corsair fleet to the Scourge. Now the Hyuk is chasing down the Corsairs. Oh man, lands a bunch of Scourge on the Corsairs. I think he took down 1 or 2. Still chasing, almost. No, getting in range of the cannons, so Protoss was able to save most of his Corsairs, but still plenty of Scourge left to take those down. Plenty of Scourge left to take those down. Because Hyuk, he is working on a completely defensive build. This is very unlike Hyuk. I don't usually think of Hyuk as a defensive player. This is kind of a strange change from him. But I think he's just trying to play into the mind games here and make use of this map. This map is great for Lurkers. Because of the high ground areas everywhere. You just hold the high ground with Lurkers, and even if you have Dragoons shooting at the Lurkers, if the Dragoons are shooting up the ramp, they're only going to hit the Lurkers a little bit at a time. So very smart strategy from Hyuk. But here comes a little bit of harassment. If the harassment doesn't run into Scourge, it seems that Hyuk might have actually scouted that shuttle or something, because he's coming right down with the Scourge, looking for the shuttle. I don't think he found it, though. I don't think he did. I think the Scourge were in patrol move or something, because the Dark Templar just now being dropped. Okay, Hyuk knows about this now. Oh, the Dark Templar spotted by the Spore Colony. A couple of failed storms. Well, not completely failed. Took out 2 drones there, but these High Templar taking out the Scourge. Oh, the very valiant High Templar. I take out 1 Scourge. And now he's going to die horribly. Both of them are. Not even morphing into an Archon. That's what I love about... Oh, man, storming over the Hydralisk, but didn't get much done there. That's what I like about Protoss players. They'll morph an Archon even if they know it's going to die. Just to see it light up, you know. It's fun. Those Protoss Archons, Frocons, got the glowing iridescent Fro. But anyway, Protoss is moving down. But there are plenty of Lurkers holding this high ground area. It's going to be tough to break through without Storm. Copious amounts of Storm. I'm actually remembering now. A commenter said I should stop using the phrase "amounts of" for things like that. Amounts of storm, whatever. I'm going to say whatever I want. But up at the 12 o'clock position, the fourth base for Paralyze coming down. He's going to try to protect that. He needs to put down some cannons pretty quickly there, though. And Hyuk was trying to chase down these Corsairs with the remaining Scourge, but a little bit unsuccessful, losing about a dozen Scourge in that failed attempt. But now Hyuk is sending some troops up, sending some Zerglings up to the 12 o'clock position, and there are no cannons there at all. And the Protoss' army is down at the 6 o'clock position, so I think that 12 o'clock forced to be canceled. As Paralyze is moving down, trying to storm on top of the lurkers. I think there are some lurkers behind those lurkers, though. Wow, a lot of lurkers protecting the 6 o'clock position. So, wow, no zealots left at all, too. So these Zerglings are going to have a field day. I think he's going to have to retreat. Yes, Paralyze is retreating, doing a storm there, pretty nice storm, to take out the remaining Zerglings as the backup zealots come into play. But still fighting up a high ground. Nice storm, though, from Paralyze to get rid of most of the Hydralisks. But still, those lurkers are causing such a pain in his fro. So forced to back off yet again. I'd say the best position that Paralyze can be in, the best road that he can take right now is to just play defensively. Throw down bases, defend them with splash units like Reavers and High Templar. Keep about 2 Reavers, 2 High Templar at each of the bases and just try to starve Hyuk out. Because Hyuk is playing uber defensive right now. So Paralyze has put it upon himself to just be the aggressor. He's just trying to attack straight into Hyuk's uber aggression, and I don't think that's going to work out in the long run. Hyuk has secured 5 bases now, taking that inside 8 o'clock. So, yeah, Paralyze, he needs to take bases, hold them, and get out those splash units, get his upgrades going, and play defensively. Because playing aggressively, especially just focusing in on that 6 o'clock base over and over and over, it's a little bit too predictable. I'd say the better base to attack would definitely be this natural expansion, especially considering all the overlords are hanging out over there. If you attack there with the Corsairs too, you'll be able to at least take down about half of those overlords. But now Hyuk is running away from the Corsairs, just as I said that Paralyze should go overlord hunting. He is going overlord hunting, but he doesn't want to lose all of his Corsairs in the process, so he does back off. But he probably should go for that natural expansion instead of bashing his head against the wall down here at the 6 o'clock. He has plenty of zealots, but if those zealots get caught by a line of lurkers, they're all going to die pretty quickly, just leaving dragoons to be cleaned up by Zerglings. So I think that Paralyze does need to come up with a plan B. He has put down his 4th base again. Uh-oh, Defiler Tech from Hyuk. That is not good. Not good for Paralyze. Plague is going to destroy him. And Dark Swarm, both those spells take their toll on Protoss, at least until the late game. And the later part of late game, when you have an all-Archon army, that doesn't matter too much, actually. The Plague, anyway, and the Dark Swarm. But now Hyuk is going to surround this base. Let's see if he does have Adrenaline upgraded Zerglings. I think he might, as he's attacking the inside 2 o'clock base. Paralyze deciding to go for the counterattack now. It looks like the Dark Swarm ready just in time, though, and still plenty of lurkers to protect this base. I think most of the lurkers were at the 6 o'clock, though. Streaming up the map, I see a big red line going straight for the natural expansion now from Hyuk. Yep, trying to take that high ground. A lot of lurkers coming in, reinforcement lurkers, and Paralyze trying to get the storm on those. Most storming a lot of lurkers, actually, but still fighting up the high ground. That's going to be difficult for him. And he loses his entire Zealot army. And his Reaver's out here, no man's land. The Reaver goes down. I think the shuttle might have been sniped or something, because that Reaver was all alone in the middle of the map. But luckily for Paralyze, he did protect that inside 2 o'clock base somehow, and he has he lost 2 cannons there, but that's pretty much all he lost. Oh, Observer going down, spotting those defilers that were there, though. So yeah, Paralyze needs to really switch into a Reaver and a High Templar army. He needs some splash units to help him against the Dark Swarm, and to help him in base defense, too. He does have those 4 bases running, but might not be for long once Hyuk starts doing the drops and drops defilers in on top of the cannons to do the Dark Swarm. It's going to be bad news. But Paralyze is able to take down one more Overlord. And Hyuk still committed all of his resources and all of its units, basically, to protecting that 6 o'clock base. So Paralyze, hopefully he doesn't try to attack that again, because he's just going to be bashing his head against a brick wall. Unless your head is made of brick, I wouldn't recommend that. So, Hyuk still has his 5 bases. He could easily take a 6th base. I have trouble with those THs. Down at the other 6 o'clock base, down at the bottom. I think he could take that and definitely hold it, once he has the minerals to do so, to commit to that. Oh, a plague. Plague on top of the units from Paralyze. Things are not looking very good for Paralyze, even though he does have those 4 bases running. He needs another base immediately. He needs to take that base up at the 12 o'clock, hold it, and get some cannons up there, and just hold his bases and play defensively. Because Hyuk is in this for the long haul. He is saying to Paralyze right now, I want to play late game. I want to play a long game. So what are you going to do about it? And he's kind of forcing Paralyze's hands. Forcing his hand, and adrenaline upgraded Zerglings, taking out the Nexus at the inside 2 o'clock. So that is very ungood for Paralyze, because he's now only working off of basically 2 bases. He's just about mined out inside of his main. So very ungood indeed. There's the shuttle being spotted, the red shuttle, so that could work out very poorly. Nice snipe of the Defiler, though, but not before a plague gets on top of the observers, too. Once the observers are plagued, they can be seen by the Zerg, so he could just snipe that with Hydralisk if he wants to. A grouping of lurkers there. Storm on top of those lurkers! Oh, man, Hyuk almost lost every single one of those lurkers in that clump. That could have been devastating to his defense at the 6 o'clock. But luckily for him, he did save them. And now he's chasing away the shuttle with a single Scourge. He might be able to catch it, actually, before Paralyze gets back to his cannons. Nope. Oh, wow, Hyuk, he just sniped another Reaver that was just out there in no man's land. Actually, it was flanked by a ton of units, but still was able to focus in and kill that thing. And still has that single Scourge out there. That Scourge is out for blood, man. It wants to take down that red shuttle. But Hyuk still pushing things back to Paralyze's natural expansion. Paralyze once again going straight for the 6 o'clock position, it seems, putting all of his Zealots first. But the Zealots in this huge field of perfectly placed lurkers, they are just going to die so quickly. So quickly. The Paralyze is trying to use his Scarabs to fight up the hill and kill these lurkers. That is the smart thing to do. Now Hyuk is coming down here. He's going to focus in on the Reaver. He takes down the Reaver. He might focus in on these High Templar too, but he snipes so many Reavers. Some nice Reaver sniping from Hyuk in this game. And that is going to spell doom for this attack down at the 6 o'clock again. And I think, yeah, Paralyze is trying to build a base up at the 12 o'clock again, but third time, not the charm. Hyuk takes that down. And now, yeah, Paralyze is just trying to get some damage done. He did find one Defiler kind of hidden out there, but oh man, a ton of lurkers coming in. Oh, this is horrible. Wow, that's a lot of lurkers. So Hyuk going to take it all the way back to Paralyze's natural expansion. He has his 6 bases, all pumping lurkers, well, pumping Hydralisk that are turning into lurkers. But yeah, just look at how many lurkers there are. Paralyze is actually doing a good job of killing these lurkers. He's killed about half of the lurkers that were pushing towards his natural expansion, but still half remain. And Hyuk can always come in with reinforcements. Finally, a little bit of harassment down at one of the 6 o'clock bases. Just 2 measly Zealots trying to take down a hatchery. He did a little bit of harassment earlier with High Templar, but he kind of gave up on harassment after that. It didn't go too well after that point. But those Zealots might be able to take out the hatchery. Zealots, they do have +3 attack. And they're going to be able to take out the hatchery. Okay. So one of the bases from Hyuk goes down, but I think it might be a bit too late for Paralyze. He needed something like that earlier. Storming on top of one Scourge again. I think that's a bit of a waste of a storm, though. A bit, as the lurkers are being grinded down by Scarabs and the Storm at the front. One Storm and one Zealot shot's all you need to take down a lurker. Well, it depends on the Carapace upgrade, I guess. But here comes a ton of Hydralisk now. Yeah, Hyuk is going for the killing blow. He smells the blood in the water, so he's going for the killing blow, sending all of these Hydralisks to the natural expansion. Couple of, well, not too bad of storms. I was going to say crap storms, but that one at the bottom. The south was not completely crap. But, oh, a nice little drop there. But, again, too late to get that kind of a Dark Templar harassment. And there's the GG from Paralyze. Takes off his headphones and his hair just goes voop. All right, Hyuk takes it. I'd say he was the favorite to take this anyway, and Paralyze got to step it up against two much stronger players in his group if he wants to get this thing done and move into the round of 8. All right, says Banuk, let's move on to Group B.